Hey everyone, I'm Ms. World Traveler Carrie Damiano, and we are continuing to browse in the Antique Alley Mall in the Las Vegas Arts District. If you are looking for a contrast to the noise and crowds on the Strip and Fremont Street and more of a neighborhood feel, the Arts District on Main Street will be a welcome diversion, which is how I ended up at Antique Alley Mall talking with Jimi Mastronardi, Director of Memorabilia for Rock Legends. All right, so this is Jimi, one of the other fabulous vendors here at the Antique Alley Mall. And Jimi, you have quite an amazing background, sort of in rock history.
Yes, I've lived a very charmed life, as I could say. When I was young,
just like 5 years ago, when you were young.
No, 2 years ago.
Okay.
I was fortunate to meet somebody at a convention, and he introduced me to the entertainment world. And from there, I got to be with entertainers, work with the hard rock, meet people in the auction business, and that's where I am today. Okay,
you kind of glossed over that a little bit. So tell me about some of the interesting groups that you got to work with.
Fleetwood Mac and Elton John and Eric Clapton.
And what were you doing specifically with them?
Well, my friend was the manager for them, so I was his assistant basically, and I also was a photographer at the time when I was young.
Great. So does that have anything to do with some of this rock memorabilia that you have here?
Yes, because he also knew Isaac Tetra, who was the founder of the hard rock chain. And so he was the curator for them, and so we used to work with him and decorate 22 of the hard rocks all over the world.
Wow, wonderful. So can you maybe tell me about this interesting piece right here?
Well, this piece was a charity item that was done in London about 10 years ago, and it's Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits, and he played it on stage and he signed it for us and everything, and it's very unique, one of his unique guitars.
Well, how can you bear to let it go?
I used to keep a lot of the stuff personally, but as years go by, you grow older and you go,
no, you don't grow older.
Right? So I mean, like this piece was given to me from Stevie Nicks and written to me. This is her original program for the tour, and then she wrote this for me. So don't rock too much.
Okay,
and this is original artwork of hers too.
Really? So she's also a painter?
Yes.
Wow.
She always has been. Yes.
Great.
Most of these artists are painters.
Really?
Yes.
Well, it kind of makes sense, right? Musical ability, artistic ability.
I mean, Ron Wood's a huge artist. His paintings go for thousands of dollars now.
Wow.
It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what else in here? I mean, you have lots of really amazing pieces. What speaks to you and says this is just something really incredible?
Well, as I got older and worked in this business, I wanted to give the opportunity to people so they can get a little piece of history of them with their bands. So I started an auction house so people, the average person, not the person who will spend $50,000 or $1 million on a piece of memorabilia, but can have something that they remember. So like all this stuff on the wall is history for a lot of the people that want it. So it can be Van Halen, shot at the whiskey, or a concert poster, or the original 60s posters of the Doors with the tickets, or even autographs of Michael Jackson and all the Jacksons. So everyone can take a little piece of the pie and enjoy it in their house. That's why I really do this.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
As if Jimi's knowledge of rock memorabilia weren't enough, wait until you meet his wife, Leslie Alison Crichton, who is style personified. So this is Leslie Allison. Is not she super fabulous with this? Oh my gosh, like I want to steal this thing. It's so fabulous. But I'm walking by your booth and I see some of these gorgeous colors and things, and I thought I have to meet the lady who started it, designed it, buys it, whatever. So tell me about how you got into fashion.
So fashion for me was when I was a little kid and my mom was getting dressed for the balls, the military balls in Manhattan. So it started from there, and then I went to fashion school. I went to Toby Coburn in Manhattan.
Okay.
And from there I started, and I got a job with Eleanor Lambert, who's the priestess of fashion. She started Fashion Week. She's an icon.
Okay.
She started the CFDA Awards, the Met Gala.
Oh my goodness.
She started all of it. So I was able to do that and work with all the top designers. And I did show site selection. I did all the fashion shows. I hired all the models. I did all the photography. I worked in the magazines. I worked.
So like you worked from the ground up, right?
Absolutely.
Sort of every facet.
Yes.
Of the fashion industry.
Yes.
Okay. So how did you end up then at the Antique Alley Mall?
And so my husband, Jimmy, is also in, sells a lot of rock and roll memorabilia, and he worked for the Hard Rock. So he had a ton of all this framed artwork, and he didn't want to ship it because it's so expensive. So we live a couple of blocks away, and he opened up a booth here and ran it for a couple of years, and then a booth opened up, and he said, Les, why don't you start your fashion? And I just bought one line, and 5 years later.
Fabulous. And you do some of your own design,
I do,
right?
Yes, I do. I design jean jackets,
okay,
because that's one of my favorite things to wear.
Wonderful. And I understand you don't. You're all sold out right now, so we don't get to see any. You're on site, but
I will be making some. They'll come out next year.
Okay, fantastic. So you're gonna send me some pictures.
Yes, I will.
Right. Okay, good.
I'll send you a jacket for sure.
Good. So tell me about maybe some of the pieces that you've got here. Like for example, like I'm in love with
Love Me.
This
it's called
piece.
Love Me.
Well, of course it is, because it's so. Who would not love it? And the colors just say like love me.
Yeah, she's for Valentine's Day, and we call her Love Me with her matching purse. And the fabulous things about all my faux furs is that they go in the washing machine on delicate.
Okay, nice.
So save on the dry cleaning.
Right.
It's fabulous.
Well, and you just have so many other really fabulous colors too.
So we have our rainbow collection. This is our rainbow collection.
Which is what you're wearing here, yes.
Yeah. We love her.
Same
designer. Delicate, same designer.
Okay. Great.
We have Lady Gaga. So we work with her too. So she comes in many different colors.
Look at the inside of that. Love that. Okay, so I think we should be having a fashion show.
I think so too.
That's what we're gonna do next.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we
go
go.
First.
Okay, we're gonna have a fashion show. After a fun day of shopping, it's time to get ready for the Mrs. World pageant, an international competition for married women. The venue is the Westgate International Theater, which has quite a rich history. Barbra Streisand was the very first performer in 1969, and then Elvis Presley started what would become a 7-year residency of 636 consecutive sold-out shows. He lived on site in a very opulent penthouse, now known as the Elvis Suite, taken over this evening by the pageant contestants, friends, and family.
runner-up is Mrs. Polynesia. And the winner of Mrs. World is Mrs. India. Mrs. India.
Sargon Koshal, Mrs. India, is now Mrs. World 2022.
This is an emotional moment. Oh my gosh. Thank you for standing.
It's been a glamorous weekend of pageantry and shopping in Las Vegas, and I hope you're going to stick around and find out where we go next. I'm Miss World Traveler Carrie Damiano, reminding you to travel safe, shop smart, dress well, and be grateful for every day.